What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, I had to make this video. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll see the video meme that I put together using some Rocky IV classic footage where Apollo Creed was getting killed by Ivan Drago. You will lose. I must break you. That's my shit. I had to make a video, put this together about premature stoppage. A lot of people cry premature stoppage after everything, and it seems like some people just want something to complain about. So I figured I'd touch on the subject and address some of the idiots who are making comments like this. So one thing that's saddening in the sport of boxing, especially recently, because we've had I think there was a fighter in Japan, one in Mexico. There's a couple different people that actually died, lost their life, and then you have Magomed Abdusalamov, who was in a coma and life support after the Mike Perez fight. So maybe the casual fans don't really watch boxing, so they didn't hear about some of these instances. However, just common sense will tell you that the human body is not equipped to deal with blunt force trauma and just repeated punishment and blows and, traumatic blows to the head and all kinds of stuff like that. And it's sad that, I don't know if it's the MMA becoming more popular in just modern society and people are looking for that every single boxing match. I don't know. Maybe it just goes back to the gladiator days where people just like that brute man versus animal, man versus beast type of warfare. But some of you guys cry premature stoppage at everything. Now, granted, there's some situations where I feel that there are premature stoppages. George Groves versus Carl Froch, I think that was premature. The ref had him in a headlock. He was taking some shots. However, you got to look at the natural progression of the fight. And for the most part, that fight, despite Carl Froch's second win, I would say George Groves was in the fight. That's why the rematch sold 60,000 tickets in the first hour, because people really want to see it, because they know that was some fuckery. Again, George Groves scored the only knockdown in the fight. He was dominating the large early portion of the rounds. So, yeah, that stoppage was premature. Like, see if he can finish on his feet. Then you have Canelo-Angulo recently, and people are trying to make a case for Angulo not being, Tony Weeks, he's the worst ref ever. No, he's not. I mean, yes, it could have been a little bit premature, but if you look at the fight in its totality, that's probably what Tony Weeks was basing it off of. And the funny thing is, people are angry and up in arms about the whole Tony Weeks decision to stop the fight, when just the in between the rounds, right before Tony Weeks actually stopped the fight, his own corner said he was going to stop it. Virgil Hunter was like, yo, you got to show me something or I'm going to stop this. Angulo, I'm going to stop this. And he really didn't do anything in the fight. I mean, what rounds did you give Angulo? When was Canelo majorly hurt or rocked or buzzed? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. And I understand the what if aspect, but some of you guys hold too steadfast to what if. I mean, you could do that with anything. What if Amir Khan didn't get punched in the neck in the Danny Garcia fight? It looked like he might have been victorious, but guess what? He did get punched. What if Pacquiao didn't get hit with the perfectly timed punch as he was coming in awkwardly in the Marquez 4 fight? But he did. So you could make a what if about what happened and what this and that, and you know what I mean? It's stupid. But judge based on what actually did happen. And what I seen happen in the Canelo-Angulo fight was Canelo pounced on him early, and for the most part, he didn't let up. He was looking like he was fatiguing a little bit, and he started becoming more economical. But that was after he had made Angulo gun shy, ripped and punished his body, and was popping his head up with repeated shots and uppercuts. And Angulo proved that he had a chin, but how much do you want the man to endure? And people are, it's a fixed fight. I mean, it just sounds stupid. And some of you fans are poor sports. It couldn't just be Canelo was the faster fighter, which we all knew going into the fight. It can't be Canelo's the better boxer. It can't be Canelo came in with an actual good game plan and Angulo didn't know how to adjust and was there for the taking. You know what I mean? It couldn't be that. It had to be a fixed fight. You guys sound fucking ridiculous. And again, as far as the stoppage and premature stoppage, it blows my mind that some of you fans really could give a fuck about these fighters' health, and it makes me question your integrity as a boxing fan that you want Angulo. Like, yes, he has a chin, but how much do you want to see before the fight stopped? Do you want to just keep it going to see Canelo knock him out and his eyes roll in the back of his head? I mean, the motherfucker was just talking about how he had a daughter and she means everything to him. I don't want to see the man with like a permanent speech impediment or damage to his nervous system. And what Tony Weeks did, be it maybe since it wasn't a barrage of punches, he could have let it continue going, but he has seen enough. Totally through the fight, Canelo was dominant and he was ripping to the body. And you got to look at the ebb and flow. Boxing is highly based on ebb and flow, rhythm. And yes, you can do a Chavez Sr. and do what he did to Magic Taylor, or do a John Molina Jr. versus Mickey Bay and have this miraculous 12th round knockout special where you stop your opponent. But how likely is it given the circumstance? Yes, it can happen. It's boxing. That's why we watch it. It's entertaining. But what did Angulo do to show that this was it? The fight was headed in another direction. I mean, his punches look slow as fuck. Like, even slow for Angulo. I know he was slow, but goddamn, if he threw a punch any slower, he'd travel back in time on some Marty McFly shit. I mean, what was he doing to indicate that the tables were all of a sudden going to turn and he was going to get the best of Canelo? I don't get it. I don't understand. And I'm using Canelo-Angulo because it's a recent example, but I've seen this time and time again. Some people say Brandon Rios, Mike Alvarado in the first fight, it was a premature stoppage. No, it wasn't. Watch the fight again. Mike Alvarado was taking several, I repeat several, probably double digits, 10 or more punches unanswered without throwing back. Like, he looked like his reflexes, he was just out of it. He was out on his feet. And again, I understand from being a fan, the whole fight was exciting. Alvarado had a shot, but he's pinned on the ropes. What do you want? And the thing with these fighters have heart. A lot of them, unless your name's Victor Ortiz. But a lot of these fighters have heart. They're not going to give up. They're going to have to be carried out on a stretcher and then worry about the consequences later. So it's up to the corner, it's up to the refs to make an educated decision and a wise decision based on the totality of the fight and what they're seeing if the fight should continue. So some of you fans have no fucking regard towards the fighter's health. Look at Manny Pacquiao versus Margarito. Yeah, Margarito has a chin, and now he doesn't have a career because he had one fight after that against Miguel Cotto, lost that, and Manny Pacquiao sunk his fucking eyes in his head. So what's the good in that? Let Angulo live to fight another day. Maybe rematch Laura or whoever he's going to fight, go his own course, go back to his daughter in one piece, you know what I mean? The same way he left the house. And again, I don't understand what some of you guys are expecting. Like, you just want to see straight up street fights and no one to enforce or break up the fight, you know what I mean? You might as well just watch Celebrity Deathmatch or some dumb shit. And again, you got to look at the ebb and flow of the fight. Angulo looked like he had nothing on his punches. Getting those shots ripped to your body over and over again, and by a strong person like Canelo, the punches looked like they had some force. It was popping Angulo's head up. So it looked like Canelo was like putting some might into those punches. And people still want to see, like, oh, he's a warrior. He's about to turn up in the 12th round. Like, come on, man, shut the fuck up. I remember they had the Adrian Broner versus Jason Litzau fight on YouTube. It's probably still there. Some dumbass person on YouTube put a comment talking about it as a premature stoppage. It looked like Broner was literally murdering Litzau against the ropes. His head was rocking and he just looked shocked, like, oh, it looked like he was crying. And some dumbass fans talking about, yeah, it was a premature stoppage. So I just had to address it. I'll let you guys go back to whatever you guys are doing. Let me know what you guys think. Canelo-Angulo, was it premature? What fights do you recall that were, in your opinion, premature stoppages? Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.